What's up, guys? You're listening to another episode of Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. $100,000 in sales on Amazon, but nothing to show for it? In this episode, I'm going to dive deep into the cash flow conundrum. This is something that gets so many new Amazon sellers, and they find it hard to reach profitability or at least understand how to manage their cash flow, where their cash is moving throughout their business, and the timeline of things to understand what it takes to reach cash flow positive profitability while also managing the growth of your business. This is going to be a very, very technical episode. So I would strongly recommend, if you are listening to this on the podcast, to take some time to maybe go check out this episode specifically on YouTube. Because again, I'm going to be doing a lot of on-screen drawing and note-taking to try to illustrate the cash flow, essentially, of an Amazon business and really any e-commerce business. So again, you can kind of understand where your money is. You might be getting lots of sales. Maybe you've sold $100,000 on Amazon, but you feel like you're still sinking and you can't really get above water with your profit, okay? So in this episode, we're going to talk about 5 steps to turn your current situation into real profit. Okay, so we're going to assess a whole bunch of different areas of your business. Like I said, this episode could get a little bit long, but I want to bring just a ton of value for you guys in today's episode. Let's jump right into tip number 1. Okay, so you're selling on Amazon. You're getting sales, you're getting revenue. Maybe it's $100,000. But again, you feel like, man, I still haven't reached that profit. I still haven't, I'm not able to pay myself a paycheck yet. You feel like you're still negative in your bank account. Tip number 1 is get to know your numbers. Okay, you gotta know every single element of your numbers. My huge recommendation, guys, is to go get the software tool called Seller Board. Okay, I've got a discount link for you guys. I'll drop it in the show notes of this episode where you can get 2 free months of Seller Board. After that, it starts at $15 a month. It's not super expensive, but it's gonna give you some really, really awesome insights. And right here on sellerboard.com, you can actually see a demo of what this looks like. It's a very, very, very good in-depth way to look at all the different numbers. Right here from the main dashboard, for example, you can see your sales for today, yesterday, month to date, this month forecasted through the end of the month, and your totals from last month. You can see all of your products being pulled from Amazon. It will even give you some warnings about stock. And you can see your sales, ads, profit, margin per SKU, per time frame. So if you're like, I want to know yesterday what products sold, how much was spent on ads for those products, what was my net profit for those specific products, you can see on a per product, per SKU basis for any of these time frames that you want to click on. We live in this main dashboard. It's a great way to, again, see like your estimated payouts, your gross profit for the day or for the month, or whatever the time frame is, your net profit, all the fees, your real A costs, which would be also considered tacos when you hear that thrown around. You can also click these little drop downs, guys, and see like how many of my sales came organic, how many of them came from sponsored ads. A lot of people ask me, Andy, how do I know how many organic versus PPC sales I'm getting? Sellerboard makes it so easy. You can also click here in the different, up here at the top under the dashboard and click under the different ways to view things. So P&L is a favorite of ours. You can see month over month, how you're doing. Again, you can break down a lot of these boxes here and really see how many of each of the Amazon fees you are charged. Again, what were all your different expenses? What was your net profit, your real A costs or tacos, profit margin percentage, are like all the metrics you could possibly want to see and know. When we say know your numbers, they're all here in Sellerboard. Guys, all of our clients, when we manage their accounts, their PPC for them, they all use this. We use it. It is a game changer. And again, if you're trying to get on grip with like, man, I don't know if I'm making money or not, or if I'm profitable, I'm getting sales, but I don't even know if I'm profitable. You need to use this software tool. I'm not just saying that as like an affiliate. I pay for it myself. It is a game changer when it comes to knowing your numbers, guys, okay? So that's tip number 1. Know your numbers. Go get Sellerboard. Link in the description to get 2 months for free. Tip number 2, assess your offer. Okay, so this is kind of like looking at your offer objectively and seeing what can I do to improve or change my offer to maybe reach more profitability, okay? So the first step I would say under that is look at your organic to PPC ratio. Look at your organic to PPC ratio. Again, seller board will really help you understand that. Under the metrics here, you can look under sales, look under units, and see if you want to look at a per unit basis versus a revenue basis. Sometimes that's a little bit easier to see. Really get to know your organic PPC ratio. Guys, if your price is too high compared to the competition for the market of that product, organic sales will be low, okay? If your price is high, organic sales will be low. PPC costs will be very high, which likely means higher cost per clicks. Well, maybe lower A cost, but it can be more expensive to advertise as well. Because again, think about it. If all your competition is selling the same product as you for $10 and you're trying to sell it for $25, you're $15 more expensive. The reason why your PPC costs are going to be higher is it's going to cost more to get someone to convert on your product, right? So that's going to lead to lower conversion rates because your product is more expensive. So not as many people are going to want to click and buy yours, which can lead to a higher A cost. Now, the one kind of saving grace of having a lower A cost with a high price point is you have more cost to work with, right? A cost is simply advertising cost of sales, or basically advertising cost of your sales price. So having a higher price can give you an advantage with lower A cost. But again, if your price is too high and your product is not selling well, you have a low conversion rate, then your A cost likely will be pretty high. So advertising is going to get a little bit tougher for you. If you have a high sales price, yes, that can mean higher profit margin, but that can actually create less actual profit for the reasons that we just stated. A lot of people are tempted to say, you know what, Andy says work for a 40% profit margin or higher, so I'm just going to raise my price, do the FBA calculator, sweet, profit comes out to be 40%, awesome, I'm going to make a ton of money on Amazon. They launch it, no one buys their product because it's way too expensive. So yeah, they have a high price and a high profit margin percentage when you do the math in the calculator, but they're actually making less profit because they're getting no organic sales and their ads are really expensive because nobody's converting because their price is so high. So you're just kind of spinning your wheels with this high price point because you think, yeah, I have a great profit margin, but you're not actually selling products, or any of the products that you are selling are all coming from ads, and you're having a really tough time optimizing your ads and increasing your conversion rate because, again, you have a high price product. Now, if you're really good at ads and you're really good at optimizing your listing, then yeah, you can make that work for sure. But a lot of beginners who don't have optimized listings, have no idea what they're doing with PPC, this is where they really struggle. This is why a lot of people where I do their PPC setup for them, or we bring them on as clients, see immediate improvements. And these are people who may have high priced products. It's because they aren't executing their PPC strategy at the level it takes to turn this into a profitable business with high priced products, right? Second part of this assessing your offer is work towards the optimal offer price. I'm going to throw another tool at you today, guys. This is another tool that I've started using over the past few months, and it is also an incredible tool. I'm using it with all my Jaguar students, and I recommend you people go and snag this tool as well. I'll also throw a link to this one down for you guys. I've got a sweet discount, 25% off 3 months for you. This is called Smart Scout. I'm actually having a full in-depth episode coming out soon for you guys about this specifically. Actually about this really heavily on this one tool here. It's called the subcategory tool. But to keep things generally simple for you guys today, you can use the subcategory tool to really get a feel for your market, for your product, okay? Let's pretend I'm gonna just try to find a random niche here. Let me go flower pot. Or actually, I'm gonna try to find, I'm literally just doing it off the top of my head. Let me find one that has like a decent market size. Dried flowers, artificial. Let's try artificial flowers. Let's see what that does. Okay, so under artificial flowers, I'm actually gonna go here under this brands tab, okay? So I'm under the brands tab for artificial flowers, and I can see which of the brands are dominating this market, or what is the market share of all these brands. In the sub niche of artificial flowers on Amazon, Mandy's is crushing it. They actually own almost 50% of the market. That is a heavy percentage. Almost $12 million monthly. Okay, so they are dominating. They're doing something right. I could actually look specifically at Mandy's and look at what products they are specifically selling. Here's a whole bunch of different artificial flowers that they're selling, and I can scroll over and see a whole bunch of data about them. But the main thing I'm really interested in is what is their price? So if I look here at the buy box price, I can look individually at these products and I can actually view it on Amazon. If I'm like, I'm thinking about selling a little fake bouquet of artificial flowers like what these are, but I can see here, okay, if Mandy's is the brand that is dominating, they're doing something right. Let me see what price point they're at. So for any of these products that maybe you're considering selling, you can come and see their price for that product. And that is a great model to look after if you're like, where should I price my product in the market? If you're over here trying to sell stuff for $35 or $50 and Mandy's is over here selling it for $18.99, that's a big wake up call to be like, yo, if you're trying to get to, $12 million or whatever it is, like Mandy's is, you need to come and assess what they're doing. And this goes for any brand. So you can come here, look in your niche, look in your category, find all the top brands, or even find all the top products. Like I can actually switch right here and just look at products and not brands and see like, okay, these are all the top selling products. And you can come over here and sort. So we could sort by estimated monthly revenue, which I believe it's already sorted by this. And again, look at the buy box price. Now for this sub niche, there's prices all over the place because of all sorts of different offers. But for your offer, you could niche down a little bit further, find maybe the sub niche. You can even create filters. So you're filtering it so it's more specific to your specific offer, but really see who is selling the most, what is their price point, and then go plug that into the FBA calculator and figure out what your margin could be at for that price point. But again, understand what we're trying to drive home here is work towards the optimal offer price. I know that we all want a 40% profit margin. I know that we do. But that might not be the right profit margin for your product. You would actually make more actual profit dollars in your bank account if you sold for a profit margin of 15%, 12%, 10% even maybe. And I know I'm kind of eating my words right now a little bit because you guys hear me on the podcast say, under 30% profit margin, I'm not interested. I'm not selling that product. Okay? I'm not selling that product. Now, I do still think this is a great mindset to live by when you're thinking about your product to sell. But once it's up and it's selling and you're trying to optimize, understand you've got profit to play with now. So you can lower your price. If you're starting at 30% profit, awesome. But understand you've got a lot of profit to work with and work on over time. Maybe if you're crushing it at $30, great. Or 30% margin, awesome. The whole point of this is if you're not crushing it, or if you're getting a bunch of sales or not profit, whatever it is, assess and work towards your optimal price point. Okay. Step number 3. And this is the one that we're going to spend most of the time on today in this episode. Understand your cash flow. This is what gets the most people into trouble, or I guess into doubt with this business model. I'm going to try to illustrate this on screen for you guys. Again, I know if you're listening to this episode, just on your phone or headphones or whatever, this might be tough to follow. I'm going to try to talk through it as clear as I possibly can, but I would recommend going and checking this out on YouTube. Shout out to everyone who has subscribed, by the way. Okay, so let me just write up here at the top, cash flow, okay? Cash flow. We're going to go through this twice actually in 2 different ways to try to see things from different perspectives. We're going to think about things first here from a 90-day perspective. Okay, so I'm going to go day 1 here at the top of the screen. I'm going to go day 45. I'm going to go day 90. Okay, so 3 months, 90 days. Let's think about this from a 90-day perspective. Day 1 is going to be like start day. On day 1, you order, I'm going to write this, you order 1,000 units of inventory, okay? At $5 per unit, that's gonna cost you $5,000, okay? And for the sake of the example, let's just pretend you paid all $5,000, okay? So your bank just got minus $5,000. Your manufacturer is working on making 1,000 units for you over in China, okay? So right now you're just chilling. You made that payment, now we wait. It takes 45 days, let's say, for that inventory to get made, and I'm gonna draw a little boat here, and it gets on its little boat, and there's the smoke, and the boat is, driving over to Amazon. On day 45, let's say it's 45 days, boom, you hit the 45th day since you ordered your inventory, the units arrive at Amazon and start selling. So I'm gonna say, start selling 1,000 units, okay? So if we think about where are we at so far? We're at day 45 and we are negative $5,000. We have not made any money back because we just started selling the 1,000 units that just showed up at Amazon. Well, if you're planning ahead, getting ready to grow, getting ready to restock, and it took 45 days for that stuff to get made and get shipped and arrive, guess what? You got to place the next order right now. And if you're thinking about growth or you're optimistic, right, about your business, you might have to order more inventory than you did the first time. So I'm actually going to say, let's pretend we're optimistic. We're feeling good about our product. Even though we haven't technically sold one yet, we still feel good about it. We're risk takers. So I'm going to say we're going to place our order for our next order of 1,500 units. Okay. Now at $5 per unit, that's going to cost us negative $7,500. Okay. So on day 45 of your business, you are now negative $12,500, right? Negative $12,500 in the red. Over the next 45 days, that's when the good things start to happen, right? You've started selling your 1,000 units. Let's pretend, okay, we're gonna say perfect world. This is not how it's likely gonna be, but for the sake of ease and comprehension, let's say over the next 45 days here, I'm gonna write just 45. Over the next 45 days, you sell through all 1,000 units from that first order, okay? So let's say you sold 1,000 units. Let's say you made $3 profit per unit, okay? So you sold through your first 1,000 units, you made $3 profit per unit. Again, likely for most people, especially if this is your first 1,000 units, you likely did not profit $3 per unit. Maybe you lost money per unit in total from ad spend and everything during these first 45 days, okay? But let's say you absolutely crushed it and you made $3 profit per unit. Let's pretend it's like, 15% profit margin, maybe what is that, $25 product or $20 product. So $3 profit on $20 product. Cool. So remember on day 45, you had these 1,500 units, okay? I'm gonna draw my little boat right here because over those 45 days, those units are making the way to Amazon, and on day 90, your second order shows up. So you start selling your second batch of inventory, which is the 1,500 units, okay? So you start selling the 1,500, let me write this right here. You start selling 1,500 units, and then again, if we're gonna build this out even further, you're gonna start your reorder, and let's just pretend, you can keep it kind of simple. Let's say just from this point forward, you're only ever reordering 1,500 units every 45 days. So you're gonna order another, on day 90, 1,500 units, which is gonna cost you another $7,500. So you can kind of get the pattern here. You order 1,000 units for $500, you start selling, 45 days later, you've sold out, you made $3 profit per unit. So let's even say that's, I'll write it right here, $3,000. Bing, ka-ching, $3,000 profit. The 1,500 that you ordered on day 45 start selling. So now that's going to start selling here over the next 45 days. And then you place another order for 1,500. So you're down 7,500 again. Okay. So this process is just repeating now. Let's just say every 45 days, it's just repeating. Order 1,500, you sold through the previous inventory. Whatever that order was, 1,000 or 1,500, you sold through it. Okay. So now let's write, I'm gonna write this out a little bit differently now to try to break down a little bit better actual money. So we get kind of this process, this rolling cash flow process of where you're spending your money, where the units are and when they sell and when they sold out. But let's try to understand this a little bit better in terms of money. So now I'm just writing at the top of the screen, money. And I'm gonna put money in and actually, let's do out and then in. I'm gonna write this one more time. Because we'll think about it like money goes out, maybe at the first of the month, you spend the money on the inventory, and then at the end of the month, you get your payment from Amazon. Let's think about it that way, okay? So then over here, I'm gonna put day. So I'm writing in rows now. So let's do the same sort of time frame. So we're gonna go day 1, let's do day 45, day 90, and let's go a little bit further here. So if we had another 45 days, that is day 135. Another 45 days is day 180, right? Okay, so now we've stretched this out into 6 months, okay? 6 months, essentially. Now again, this is not how it goes for everyone. In fact, a lot of people, right, aren't making $3 profit per unit from their first batch of inventory. But let's pretend things are amazing. It's a perfect world. You'll still understand hopefully how the cash flow conundrum kind of plays out. So same example, but we're just thinking money in, money out. Day one, you order 1,000 units of inventory. It costs you $5 per unit. So you are out $5,000, right? Out $5,000 from your bank account. How much is in your bank account coming in on day one? $0 are coming in. You're not selling anything. Day 45, remember, day 45, the first initial run of inventory shows up at Amazon. It starts selling. So on day 45, have you been paid any money? No. You started on day 45. Your units become available, great day, woohoo, we're selling. But also on day 45, you're planning ahead for the future for the next 45 days. So you order 1,500 units, 1,500. Again, $5 per unit. So you're down another $7,500 on day 45. So again, right now we're down $12,500 and nothing has come in yet from Amazon because we have not sold anything. Day 90, great day. We've sold through our first 1,000 units of inventory. Okay, we're gonna get to that in just a second. But again, on day 90, to keep that 45-day train moving, we're ordering another 1,500 units. So the bank account is getting dinged again for another $7,500. Actually, let me write in parentheses here. 1,000 units. This one is 1,500 units, and this one is 1,500 units. Okay. Now, let's think about this. I'm gonna write over here on the far right. What is profit? Okay, because this is where things get a little bit confusing for people. What is profit? Profit is sales price minus, I'm gonna put AMZ fees minus COGS, which is cost of goods sold, which is the cost to order the inventory and get it shipped from China or your supplier. Okay. So whatever your sale price is, or how many sales you got in dollars, minus all the Amazon fees, minus how much it costs for the actual inventory itself, the cost of the goods sold, the cost of the products itself, that is profit, right? So when I gave this example, I said, let's say you make $3 profit per unit sold, okay? So if you do like the FBA calculator, do your profit margin, you figure out how much profit am I making per unit, it's $3. However, when it comes to Amazon depositing cash, we're talking about cash flow, depositing cash into your bank account. They're not deducting COGS, right? That's just you in your accounting, in your bookkeeping, in your mind, calculating the profitability of your product, of your business. But when you get paid from Amazon, COGS is not in there. Amazon simply looks at how many sales did you get? Well, we're gonna minus all the fees and you're going to get a deposit, right? So remember our COGS was $5 per unit. So if you're looking at our little FBA profit calculator, yeah, it's like, oh, I'm gonna sell it for $20, minus whatever the Amazon fees, minus my $5 COGS, my profit is $3. So actually we could do this right here. So if I did sell for $20, my COGS were $5, I said my profit was $3. That means the Amazon fees are, Andy, do the math, $17? No, oh my gosh, $12. Goodness, Andrew. Okay, so I sell for $20. Amazon takes $12. Cost of goods sold is $5, right? That's 17. Sweet, that leaves me with $3 profit. Again, that's for my own business analytics to understand how much I'm making. But again, we're talking deposits, cash deposits to your bank. Amazon is not deducting the $5 cost of goods sold when they pay you. Again, they just pay you sales minus Amazon fees, boom. So technically you're getting paid $8 per unit sold in deposited cash. So I'm gonna add another column here called sold. So going back to here, day one, we sold 0 units. Day 45, we also sold 0 units. Day 90, remember, let's say we sold through that first initial batch. So we sold 1,000 units. How much money do we get deposited into our account over those 45 days? We got in $8 deposit per unit times 1,000 units. We got deposited in $8,000. Okay. But in that same month, remember, we also reordered again, so we're down $7,500. Let's keep this train rolling. So every 45 days, we're down $7,500 out of our bank balance for another 1,500 units sold. But let's say from this point forward, we are just selling through. So every 45 days, we order 1,500 units, and over the course of 45 days, we sell 1,500 units, and we just rinse and repeat this process. So now if we do the math, $8 per unit, right? Times 1,500. I don't want to screw this up, so I'm going to type it out. That is $12,000. Ka-ching, ka-ching. So that's $12,000 plus into the bank account. And I'm going to do it one more time here just to tie this off for 180 days. We order another 1,500 units. We sell another 1,500 units. We are positive in deposit into the bank account, $12,000. We sold 1,500 units. Okay. So now we can start to see how we finally reach profitability. Honestly, we could do some math here and figure out at what point, if this was how things were rolling in a perfect world, at what point do we reach profitability? So let's try to, we'll mix this up a little bit, and let's keep this as like a running total. I'm gonna try to do some math here for you guys. Again, if you're listening, this is gonna be tough to follow along. Hopefully you're taking a second to watch on YouTube. So on day one, I'm actually over here. I'm gonna try to see if I can add like a total. Let's just add like a total cash. So total cash right here is negative 5,000. Day 45, total cash is negative 12,500, right? Because I'm down 5, the next 45 days, I'm down 7,500. Okay, so after the next 90, I'm down 7,500, but up 8,000. So technically, in and out for the month, I am plus 500, right? Out 7,500, in 8,000, I was net plus 500. So if I go back to my total, I'm plus 500. So instead of being down 12.5, I'm now down 12. Sweet. So I recouped 500 bucks on that 90-day mark. Let's go to the 135-day mark. I'm down 7,500, but I finally have sold through. I got that 1,500 units sold. I was up 12 grand. So that now is, drum roll please, Andy, do some math, 3,000, 4,500. Did I do that right? No, I totally checked. Hey, actually, that might be right. This is embarrassing. This is what happens when you're a millennial and you grow up using calculators. You don't trust yourself. 4,500. Ka-chang. So I am up 4,500 on day 135. 7,500 out, 12,000 in from Amazon, up 4,500. So let's go up 4,500 from our 12,000 red that we were. So let's go negative 12,000 plus, we got up 4,500 that month. So now our deficit has shrunk. Our deficit has shrunk to 7,500. So let me go back here. Yeah, negative 7,500. So if I do that one more time for day 180, let me go negative 7,500 plus 4,500. That is negative 3,000. So now look at my overall deficit. Now it is shrinking because every month from here on out, if I were to rinse and repeat this every month, I am plus, I'm just going to draw this right here. I am plus 4,500 a month. And so I'm just adding that plus 4,500 a month to my just running total here. And technically in the next 45 days, which would be day 225 or roughly 7 months, I am now finally plus 1,500 on my bank balance in theory, right? Because I was down 3,000 and I made 4,500 that month. I'm now finally plus 1,500. So that is roughly month 7-ish. Guys, this right here, I hope I explained this clearly. I literally practiced this, guys, before this episode, and I never practice episodes, so I hope that you guys liked it. But this right here, guys, is what so many people struggle to comprehend with their Amazon business. This is why I tell people, I tell clients, I tell students, for most people, it's going to take at least 6 to 8 months to reach profitability. When we bring on clients where we manage PPC for them, like if you just launched your product and you want us to manage your PPC and your marketing and all that SEO for you, I tell people, like, realistic guys, if you were in this type of situation, what I just wrote out, you would reach profitability. Even if from day one you're making profit every unit, $3 profit per unit, it would still take 7 months to reach profitability. Now, if you accelerated things where you made more profits, the Amazon fees were less, ads, you think about how good ads are performing, your profit margin's higher than 15%, it's gonna happen quicker, right? Or it's gonna happen in greater increments. But this is what you have to understand. You're tying up a lot of cash early on in inventory. So you're always gonna have whatever inventory is out there. Like let's say you have 1,500 units sitting at Amazon and then you also have $1,500 in the bank. Yeah, if you stopped ordering inventory and you sold through that 1,500, you'd make 4,500. You'd add it to your 1,500 in the bank and you're sitting at $6,000. Boom, you made $6,000 and you quit your business and you walk away. But that's only if you stop reordering. The thing is where people, again, they're always like, Andy, I'm still in the red. I'm still in the red. And they're selling more and more, right? Because we're talking about you've sold $100,000 on Amazon, but you're still in the red. It's because you're growing. It's because you're still getting paid off the lower inventory from the previous month. And every month you're launching new SKUs, new products, new variations. You're ordering bigger quantities than you did the month before. But again, your sales haven't caught up. Your sales are all tied in the inventory that you're ordering. Okay. So how do you actually get ahead? That's the magic question. It's like, well, gosh, Andy, I'm stoked because I'm selling, I'm growing every month. I'm having more revenue or more units sold than I did the month before, but I'm still losing money overall. My bank account still is negative. I want to make money from this. All you have to do is get ahead. You have to get ahead of this 90-day cash flow. Because what I drew for you guys here on the screen is if you're just simply reordering, like look right here in the money out. I drew like if you're just reordering 1,500 units every month and selling 1,500 every 45 days on autopilot for the rest of eternity. But if you're someone who's, again, new variations, new designs, new SKUs, you got to order that inventory for the first time. So that gets tied up with cash. So how do you get ahead to where you're like, how can I still grow, launch new SKUs, order more inventory than I did the month before, and this is the kicker, and pay myself? You do that with external funding. That is how you get ahead, is with external funding. Because if you're just trying to operate on your profits, like look right here, like on day 225, let's say at the end of the month, because let's pretend you get another 4,500 in, right? You're left with $6,000. Great. $6,000, but you still got to go order 1,500 units. And so you got to go borrow $1,500 from a credit card or whatever. You're never going to get ahead. You're going to keep growing, which is awesome. New SKUs, new product, you're growing. But as far as like getting ahead to where your bank isn't like always like at the bare minimum balance or you got tons of money on your credit card, if you want to get out of that rat race, that's where external funding comes in. That's why you go and get a $50,000 business loan, business line of credit, some sort of external funding, because now you infuse, think about it. If I were to infuse, I'm tempted not to erase this. But if I infuse, I'll draw it right here at the bottom, really small. If I infuse right here plus $40,000 cash into the business, now I have 46,000, right? Because let's pretend I made another 45. I didn't write out month or day 225. Let's say, okay, another 12 grand. I sold another 1,500 units. You made another 4,500, right? So now I'm at 40 grand plus 1,500 plus another 4,500. I'm at $46,000 sitting in my bank account. Now 40 grand of that is borrowed money. It's from a business loan, right? But it's sitting in your bank. So now you got $46,000 sitting in your bank. So now you go and reorder another 7,500. That gets dinged from your 46. And now you're down to what? 38.5. You order your 1,500 units, you sell them, you get another $12,000 payment, and you're another up 45. So now you're 46, the next 45 days, $46,000 remember you had. Now that instantly grew to, what is that? 46,000 plus another 4,500. That's 50,000. Is that 50,500? Anyways, it's over $50,000. Okay. So guess what? You're like, dang, I went from 40,000 to 46,000 to 50,000. Now you have 50 grand sitting in the bank. You can pay yourself $2,000 a month, pay off your line of credit, which your loan will be, let's say $1,200 a month, like it's paying a car payment. So you pay your $1,200 line of credit payment, you pay yourself $2,000, that's, $3,200 right there. You pay for your inventory, but then you still make another $4,500. It gets deposited back into the bank account. And so now every month, when you think about it, your net is negative $7,500 plus $12,000. So you're positive $4,500. $2,000 of that gets paid to you. $1,200 of that goes to the business line of credit, and whatever's left is just profit growing your bank account. And then your bank account keeps growing while you're paying yourself, while you're paying your line of credit, and then you keep launching new products. This is what every Fortune 500 company in the world does. External funding. Every single one. Because you can't operate without it. Like, you literally can't grow a legitimate huge business without external cash. Cash is the way to grow. So this is the model. You grind it out. You get in the negative $12,500 right here, right on day 45. You're negative on day 90. You're negative on day 135. You're negative on day 180. But you're chipping away. You're starting to reach profitability. You're starting to pay off that debt from your own investment, right? And now once you reach that point where you're like, gosh, I'm 6-7 months in, I'm finally profitable in my bank account. You've been technically profitable this whole time, but as far as your bank balance being positive, you're finally in the green. You're feeling good. Things are growing. You're getting good reviews. Now you can be confident going to the bank and getting $40,000 in a line of credit or a business loan because you've proven the business. And if shiz hits the fan, you can pay off your $40,000 loan because you've got the inventory in stock, you've got the inventory on the way, you've got this, like, you're confident you have the money in the bank, and plus you have $40,000 in the bank, right? So you borrow $40,000, it's sitting in the bank. You're not spending it all instantly. I mean, unless you're going to take a huge risk and spend it all in inventory. But in reality, if you keep reordering 1,500 units, you still got a whole bunch of money in the bank where, like, if crap hit the fan, you sell out your inventory, you pay off your line of credit, you walk out the door. This is just how you manage your cash flow and manage your risk. This is 100% exactly what we did. This is how you run an e-commerce business. I told you guys this was going to be a long episode, but hopefully there's a lot of good stuff in here. 2 more things for you guys, 2 more tips. I said I was going to share 5 with you on how to get out of this cash flow conundrum. I'm selling a lot, but I'm not actually making money. Tip number 4, more marketing, more SKUs. Guys, I've seen this happen so many times. This is like science. When you get to $7,000 to $10,000 in monthly revenue, you hit what I'm going to call the stall. And I've said this before on the podcast, but if any of you guys like smoking meat, barbecuing, brisket, ribs, that kind of thing, if you smoke a brisket, it hits what's called the stall. You put it on the smoker, it's cold, it's a cold piece of meat, it gets hot, it warms up. The internal temp of the brisket gets to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't ask me why. Science says that's what it is. When it gets to that temperature, hot, it doesn't matter if your smoker is like 250, 300 degrees, it gets stuck. The meat shrinks up and it just like, I'm not getting any hotter. Sit me in here, I don't care how long. You have to infuse a ton more heat into the brisket to get it over that hump. You do this by foiling the brisket or wrapping it in butcher paper. What does that do? When you take the brisket, you wrap it in butcher paper or foil. Weirdos use foil, by the way. We use butcher paper. Wrap it in butcher paper. What does that do? It traps in the heat. So instead of heat escaping from the brisket, you're trapping it in. So when the smoker is 250 degrees Fahrenheit, all 250 degrees Fahrenheit is getting sucked into that brisket and it's staying in there. And guess what that does? It pushes the internal temperature of the meat over the hump and it starts climbing back up. It gets to 200 degrees. It gets nice and juicy, tender, and then you take it off and you eat it a few hours later. This is exactly what happens in business. The problem is you guys, or you, if you're listening to this and you're like, Andy, I'm selling $7,000 to $10,000 a month, but I'm stuck there. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't have money in the bank. I can't reorder the inventory. All I can do is reorder just enough to do the same thing the month before. And you're just stuck. It's because you're not wrapping your brisket. Your brisket is stuck at 165 degrees Fahrenheit, or your business is stuck at $7,000 to $10,000 in monthly revenue because you won't foil your brisket. That's really what it is. You need to infuse that baby with heat to get it over the stall. You need to infuse your business at that moment, the $7,000 to $10,000 mark, with external funding to go hard on 2 things. Where do you spend that money? That $40,000, $50,000, whatever you borrow. More marketing and more SKUs. That's where your money goes. The 40 grand to get over the hump, you spend more money on marketing, more ad spend, more sales velocity, more reviews, better organic ranking, better optimization because you're gathering data. So spending more on marketing will achieve all those things, and then more SKUs. And that's in the form of more inventory. So quit reordering 1,500 units every single 45 days and start ordering 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 to grow, or start launching other stuff, more variations, more product lines, more stuff to get yourself over the hump, to get some more money coming in, more profit coming in so you can operate a little bit better. That's it. That's literally all you have to do. I've seen this so many times, guys. This is what it takes to get through the stall of your business. Wrap that baby in butcher paper, infuse it with a ton of heat, and it'll get back on track and start growing again. Number 5, guys, this is gonna make a massive difference for you. Off-platform moves. Social media, guys, can make a massive difference for your business. Let me just say this. We have some clients, two clients actually, that we manage their accounts for them. We manage their ads, their SEO for them. We run it for them. They have made massive moves. I'm talking $500,000 in sales in under a year, simply off social media. Social media, guys, will make a massive difference for you if you will put in the effort. Here's the beauty of social media. It's free. It's free to make TikTok videos from your phone. It's free to make Instagram videos. It's free to write blogs on the internet. It's free to post on Twitter. It's free to post videos on YouTube. All these platforms, guys, are free. It just takes time. It takes time. It takes commitment. It takes effort. It takes testing to execute and find what works, find what takes off, find what gets views, find what gets subscribers. And it takes time in the game. It's going to take 6 months. It's going to take a year. It's going to take 2 years to grind it out. But if you put in the work on social media to build your brand, to get your product out there, that is going to make a massive difference. Why? Because it's free. You spend time, no money out of your bank account, no money from your business, to film a video, to post it on TikTok every day. And guess what? Maybe one of those videos goes and gets you 10 sales. Guess what? They're gonna click on it, on your video, and they're gonna go straight to your product and buy it. They're not gonna click on your ads. You're not gonna spend a whole bunch of money on Facebook ads. It is just simply a matter of executing your time and getting better every day. You're not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna have 1 million followers when you start. It's gonna take a freaking long time. I've been doing this social media content for 9 freaking years now. It takes time. But I promise you, if you do it and you stick with it and you learn and you execute and you test, you will ultimately make money from it. You will. I'm doing it right now. So take the time to take social media seriously. Whatever platform that is, it's different for every product and every brand, but that will make a massive difference. Because again, if you're running ads on Amazon, which again are getting more expensive, more competitive, everyone's like, man, it's expensive, the costs are going up, Exactly. So hustle your bustle on social media so you can get those pure organic profit sales from all your sweat equity and your social media grind. That's going to offset those ad costs, and you're going to win when all your competitors on Amazon are like, this sucks, I can't run ads are so expensive. You're making profit because you're supplementing those Amazon sales and those Amazon ad sales with all these TikTok sales, with all these Instagram and YouTube and blog sales that you're generating because you're hustling. And guys, work with influencers, affiliate promoters. Here's the cool thing about doing influencer marketing versus like paying for ads. When it comes to ads, PPC on Amazon or Facebook, Meta, YouTube ads, Google ads, doesn't matter. When it comes to ads, guys, you pay up front. You pay for clicks, cost per click. Like you get charged if someone clicks on your ad on Instagram, clicks on your ad on YouTube, clicks on your ad on Amazon, you pay. So if people are clicking and not buying, you're losing money. The beauty of influencer marketing, especially if you're doing affiliate type of marketing, where they only get paid if they get a sale. So using like Amazon Creator Program, TikTok Shop, like other affiliate type of negotiation, you can negotiate affiliate relationships, guys. You can tell us, a creator, hey, I'll send you a free sample of my product. You can post about it. I'll give you 15% of every sale. We can track it with a coupon code. But you only pay if they get sales. So that's a guaranteed ROAS, meaning if they don't sell anything, you're out what unit of your inventory? $5? Okay, cool. But if they sell, you make whatever, $8 profit, whatever, $5 profit, you pay them $1, $2, whatever, you pay them, a percentage of that. They get $2, you get $3. But it's guaranteed. That's the beauty of it. That also makes a massive, massive difference for your brand. Influencer and affiliate promoters with a guaranteed ROAS right there. You only pay them when they get a sale. Then you both get paid. You split it. You're sharing it. That's a beautiful way to like basically do the social media hustle without you spending 2 years to build up your Instagram account. Guys, I hope this episode was beneficial to you. I told you, I knew it was going to be like 45 minutes long, but a lot of juicy stuff in here. Go watch it on YouTube if you didn't. Let me know. Send me DMs. Send me your thoughts if you guys like this episode. Hopefully this was a big one. I got so many requests about this over the last year that I was like, I need to do this. I need to put this together. So hopefully this makes sense. Don't give up, guys. Just understand the whole process of the cash flow, and this will make a massive difference. You'll survive, while all the other people out there who give up after month 6, right? Because they're still in that negative $3,000. They're like, this sucks, I'm quitting, when all they needed to do is foil the brisket, get over the hump, and they were on their way. Don't be that person. Get the butcher paper because it tastes better. Wrap your brisket, and let's make some money. Guys, once again, you're listening to Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. We'll see you in the next episode.